of the Bob. We come together at this festive time to sing songs of celebration and tell stories of love and heroism that exalt the transient lives and spiritual legacy of the Bob, meaning the gate. We celebrate the 204th anniversary of the birth of the Bob tonight.
We want to extend our loving welcome to all of the friends that came tonight, and also to all of those who are not Baha'i, or maybe this is your first time visiting the center. Welcome and thank you for being here. We also wanted to thank the Moharares for the wonderful food tonight, and I think we should give them a round of applause. And truly, we are celebrating the commemoration of the birth of the Bab. But for those of you who are familiar with Abdu'l-Baha, who was an example of the Baha'i faith, he was really a perfect example of what is hospitality and generosity. And Abdu'l-Baha was widely known also for working in the kitchen and feeding people. So thank you again, Mohararis, for the amazing feast tonight. We also wanted to ask everyone if you could please silence your phones. You don't have to turn them off, but if you could put them on silent, that would be wonderful. And for everyone that took part in setting up for tonight's celebration, thank you so much. And for any of you that can stay after, that's very appreciated as well, as we're a very grassroots community that rely on communal work. So we really appreciate those of you who can stay after to help clean up as well. So without further ado, we are going to begin with the beautiful unity prayer, and we actually have that available for you tonight in many languages. So if we can go ahead and welcome Miss Jenny Jackson. And if we could also have, we have Lucy, if we could also have Ingrid and Dory and Great Lillian and also Mona. Wonderful.
O my God, unite the hearts of thy servants, and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps by the light of thy knowledge, and cheer in their hearts by thy love. Verily, thou art the helper and their Lord. Bahá'u'lláh.
O ihr Toren, die ihr für Weise geleitet, warum verkleidet ihr euch als Hirten, da ihr doch innerlich zu Wölfen wurdet, die nach meiner Herde trachten? Ihr gleicht dem Stern, der scheinbar hell und strahlend vor des Morgendämmerns aufgeht und die Pilger zu meiner Stadt in die Irre und auf den Pfad des Verderbens leitet.
Oh mi Dios, une los corazones de tus siervos y revélales tu gran propósito, para que sigan tus mandamientos y que atengan a tu ley. Ayúdalos, oh Dios, en sus esfuerzos y confiéreles fuerza para servirte. Oh Dios, no los abandones a sí mismos, sino guía sus pasos con la luz de tu conocimiento y alegra sus corazones con tu amor. Verdaderamente, tú eres su auxiliador y su Señor.
Ô mon Dieu, unis le cœur de tes serviteurs et révèle-leur ton grand dessein. Puis survivre tes commandements et observer ta loi. Aide-les, à mon Dieu, dans leur effort et accorde leur force de te servir. Ô Dieu, ne les abandonne pas à eux-mêmes, mais par la lumière de ta connaissance, guide leurs pas et par ton amour, répuis leur cœur. En vérité, tu es leur recours et leur Seigneur. Bahá'u'lláh.
قلبا طاهرا فاخلق فيا يا إلهي سرا ساكنا جدد فيا يا مناوي وبروح القوة ثبتني على أمرك يا محبوبي وبنور عظمت فاشهدني على صراطك يا رجائي وبسلطان رفعته إلى سماء قدسك رجني يا أولي وبرياه سمدية فابهجني يا آخري وبنغمات أزلية فاسترهني يا مونسي وبغناء صلاتك القديمة نجني عن دونك يا سيدي وبظهور كينونتك الدائمة بشرني يا ظاهر فوق ظاهري والباطن دون باطني.
Oh mio Dio, unisci i cuori dei tuoi servi e rivela loro il tuo grande scopo, sì che possano seguire i tuoi comandamenti e osservare la tua legge. Aiutali, oh Dio, nel loro compito e concedi loro la forza per servirti. Oh Dio, non abbandonarli a se stessi, ma guidane i passi con la luce della conoscenza di te e rallegra i loro cuori con l'amore tuo. Tu sei in vero il loro aiuto e il loro Signore. Bahá'u'lláh.
So now we would like to welcome Tony Ballard. And Mr. Tony Ballard is going to share with us further explanation and deepening about what we are celebrating tonight.
Thank you, Jamie. Did I do that?
Yeah, it's all you.
Wow. Things just keep getting better and better, don't they? So, we're here today to, well, first of all, good evening, everyone. It's good to see all of you here this evening. And as you know, I'm assuming we all know that we're here to celebrate the birth of the Bob. But why are we celebrating his birth? I mean, why? Well, the more we know about the Bob, the more that we know that his birth, his life, and even his martyrdom in 1850 are important even in the modern world. Well, for context, we can look to J.E. Esselmont, the author of a book, Bahá'u'lláh and the New Era. If you are a Baha'i, I'm sure you know about this book. It's a wonderful book. If you're not aware of it, I recommend everyone get this book if you want to know more about the Baha'i faith. But again, we look into this book from J.E. Esselmont, and he has a passage in the book that I'm paraphrasing and editing here. But Esselmont gives a brief description of Persia at the time of the Bab's birth, if you will. And this is what he says. Again, this is an edited version, kind of shortened. Persia, the birthplace of the Baha'i revelation, has occupied a unique place in the history of the world. In the days of her early greatness, she was a veritable queen among nations, unrivaled in civilization, in power, and in splendor. She gave to the world great kings and statesmen, prophets and poets, philosophers and artists. In all parts of the Near and Middle East, she has left traces of her former greatness. Yet, in the 18th and 19th centuries, she had sunk to a condition of deplorable degradation. Her ancient glory seemed irretrievably lost. Her government was corrupt and in desperate financial straits. Some of her rulers were feeble, and others monsters of cruelty. Her priests were bigoted and intolerant, her people ignorant and superstitious. All professed to follow sublime teachers who exhorted them to worship the one God and to live in love and unity, yet they shunned, detested, and despised each other, each sect regarding the others as unclean or as dogs or heathens. Social as well as religious affairs were in a state of hopeless decadence. Education was neglected. Western science and art were looked upon as unclean and contrary to religion. Justice was travestied. Pillage and robbery were of common occurrence. Roads were bad and unsafe for travel. Sanitary arrangements were shockingly defective. Yet, here and there, amid the prevailing worldliness and superstition, could still be found some saintly souls. And in many a heart, the longing for God was cherished. Many were eagerly awaiting the coming of a promised messenger of God and confident that the time of his advent was at hand. Such was the state of affairs in Persia when the Bab, the herald of a new era, set all the country in commotion with his message. Thank you, John E. Esselmont. Well, during this time, the Bab, Mirza Ali Muhammad, was born, and as a young man would go on to prepare the way for the coming of he whom God would make manifest, Bahá'u'lláh. And in preparing the way, the Bab, whose birthday we celebrate today and others celebrate around the world, the Babs promoted and exemplified numerous significant socio-spiritual changes that have had a lasting influence on society and religious practices even until today. A lot of things that we take for granted now as being, whether they're fully established or not, we see them as a positive thing that we need to be working towards. Many of those things we need to thank the Bab for establishing in his day as goals and objectives that society should be working toward. Here are a few key changes that the Bab brought about. The Bab sought to reform religious practices and rituals. Yes, We all know about Martin Luther. Well, the Bab sought also to reform religious practices and rituals, urging a return to the spiritual essence of faith rather than rigid adherence to tradition. The Bab's teachings emphasize the need for personal spiritual transformation and the attainment of spiritual virtues. The Bab prophesied the imminent arrival of another divine messenger who we as Baha'is know as Bahá'u'lláh, but the Bab prophesied the imminent arrival of another divine messenger who would bring about a new era of peace and unity. This expectation laid the foundation for the emergence of Bahá'u'lláh as the fulfillment of the Bab's prophecies. The Bab preached long ago, in that century, the Bab preached the equality of men and women. The equality of men and women, and emphasized along with that the importance of education for all, and called for an end to social inequalities, standards that you would think by now we should be able to take for granted. And I will personally say it's wonderful to be a part of the faith where that's part of the foundation. Moving on, the Bab emphasized the unity of humanity and the oneness of all religions. Now, this concept challenged sectarian divisions and encouraged a more inclusive and harmonious society. I mean, think about it. One young man challenging all of those old standards, all of those old beliefs, all of those old superstitions, and he had the courage and the divine power to challenge them and draw people to him. The Bab and his followers faced severe persecution and even death. Their courage in the face of adversity serves as an example that inspires a sense of sacrifice within the community. Other teachings include the elimination of prejudice. Wow. The elimination of prejudice. The harmony of science and religion. You don't have to give up your objective thinking to be able to practice faith. The harmony of science and religion. The eradication of poverty. Every society being concerned about the poor in their midst. The establishment of a global language so that we can really communicate with one another. And finally, the promotion of world peace. I'm going to run through those again very briefly. Other teachings include the elimination of prejudice, the harmony of science and religion, the eradication of poverty, the establishment of a global language, and the promotion of world peace. You know, a lot of those things, they sound like just social programs we need to be working towards, but social programs in this case are social objectives that have a divine foundation. These principles that were championed by Mirza Ali Muhammad, the Bab, resonate with modern society, even among people who never heard the name. The Bab resonate with modern society and continue to influence movements for social justice, gender equality, education, interfaith dialogue, and humanitarian efforts. They had a profound impact on the religious landscape of that time, and they continue to influence the world today. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Well, next we have a very special performance. we're going to welcome Q Hagigi, who is known as a renowned Santor virtuoso in concert halls around the world. Q began his lifetime study of the Santor at the age of 10. As a teenager, he performed on the radio station of Mashhad, Iran, and the National Iranian Radio of Tehran. At 19, Q was invited to join the Iranian Ministry of Education and Art. There, he performed as a featured soloist in the Academy Orchestra and appeared regularly on national Iranian television. Q was an instructor at the Ministry of Education and Art until 1965, when he left Iran for the study in the United States. Q Hagigi's musical career in North America has included numerous performances at colleges, at universities, and concert halls, where he has remained faithful to share classical Persian music with Western audiences. The santur, a native Persian instrument, originated in the 13th century. It consists of a trapezoid-shaped case made of walnut wood. The santur has a range of 3.5 octaves. Each note consists of 4 strings. Q's personal goal as a musician is to transport his audience into a world of excitement, emotion, and spirit. Welcome, Q Hagigi. That really was an honor, and thank you, audience, too, and youth, for honoring him with the standing ovation, too. That was, the mutuality is really beautiful. Oh, sorry. Yep, I was saying thank you, everyone, for the standing ovation for him, too. That was so honoring of him, and he honored us with his music. So the mutuality of that was really beautiful. Thank you so much. Wow, I lost my place. That was so, it was like so amazing. So now we would like to welcome YouTube. We're going to watch a video, right, Jeremiah? Is that part of that plan? Okay, great. Yes, we're going to watch a video on the birth of the Bob, which includes also talk and slideshow. So it'll help encapsulate kind of what Tony was saying. It'll expound on that just a little bit more in terms of history and relevance.
In the middle of the 19th century, one of the most turbulent periods in the world's history, a young merchant announced that he was the bearer of a message destined to transform the life of humanity. At a time when his country was undergoing widespread moral breakdown, his message aroused excitement and hope among all classes, rapidly attracting thousands of followers. With his call for spiritual and moral reformation, and his attention to improving the position of women and the lot of the poor, his prescription for spiritual renewal was revolutionary. He founded a distinct, independent religion of his own, inspiring his followers to transform their lives and carry out great acts of heroism. He announced that humanity stood at the threshold of a new era. His mission, which was to last only 6 years, was to prepare the way for the coming of a manifestation of God, who would usher in the age of peace and justice, promised in all the world's religions. His name was Mirza Ali Muhammad, known as the Bab. He was born in Iran in 1819, declared his mission in 1844 when he was only 25 years old, and was executed in 1950 at the age 31. In order to know more about the Bab, we can refer to Shoghi Effendi, the guardian of the Baha'i faith, as well as the founder Bahá'u'lláh. The mission of the Bab was twofold, according to the Guardian. Firstly, he was an independent manifestation of God. Secondly, the herald of one greater than himself, who would inaugurate a new unprecedented era in the religious history of mankind. Twofold mission. These are some of the words the Guardian used to describe the person of the Bab: gentle, youthful, matchless in his meekness, impenetrable in his sincerity, magnetic in his utterance, infinite in his tenderness, irresistible in his charm, unsurpassed in his heroism, matchless in the dramatic circumstances of his short yet eventful life. Bahá'u'lláh describes the Bab as the essence of essences, the sea of seas, the primal point, as the point around whom the realities of the prophets and messengers revolve, whose rank excelleth that of all the prophets, and whose revelations transcend the comprehension and understanding of all the chosen ones. All manifestations of God come here to guide us. They come here to reveal the words of God to us. However, there is a hierarchy in the station of the prophets of God. Some reveal more of the sacred writings to humanity, and some reveal less. This may very well have something to do with the humanity's capacity at the time. How does the Bab compare to other prophets in his revelations? To think of the Bab simply as the herald of Bahá'u'lláh is not to fully understand his station. His mission outranks all the missions of previous manifestations of God, Bahá'u'lláh states. He is not to be simply regarded as a precursor of the Bahá'í revelation. As the Bab himself states in the Persian Bayan, the object of all prophets gone before him has been fulfilled. Shoghi Effendi remarks on the Bab's revelations as solely unparalleled in the annals of any previous religion. In the Quran, the sacred text of Islam, Muhammad revealed 78,000 words, or roughly 6,000 verses, over the span of 23 years. That is all the humanity needed at the time. The Bab revealed over 5 million words in his short 6-year ministry. That is greater than all the sacred verses of all the combined religions of the past. It is said he was able to reveal holy verses at the rate of 1,000 verses every 6 hours. I would like to end tonight's talk with some of his words. Urge your hearts of worldly desires, and let angelic virtues be your adorning. The time has come when not but the purest motive, supported by deeds of stainless purity, can ascend to the throne of the Most High and be acceptable unto Him. Heed not your weaknesses and frailty. Fix your gaze upon the invincible power of the Lord, your God, the Almighty. Arise in His name and put your trust wholly in Him, and be assured of ultimate victory. Beseech the Lord, your God, to grant that no earthly entanglements, no worldly affections, no ephemeral pursuits may tarnish the purity or embitter the sweetness of that grace which flows through you.
I am the promised one. I am the one whose name you have for 1,000 years invoked, at whose mention you have peoples of both the east and the west to obey my word and to pledge allegiance to my person. I am, I am, I am, I am, I am the promised one.
Okay, thank you. We're going to welcome the Baha'i Choir has a few selections that they've been practicing on, so they'd like to participate in a couple of songs. So let us welcome the Voices in Unity, A Glorious Noise.
Carmel, holy mountain in the east, where people go kneeling low. They pray for unity and peace on Carmel. Seem oh so few, but I recall the source of my being. This is all that I have to do. God is sufficient unto me. He verily is the all-sufficing. In Him let the trusting trust. In Him let the trusting trust. And I remember the ways God has blessed me. That is all that I have to do. And God is sufficient unto me. He verily is the all-sufficing. In Him let the trusting trust. In Him let the trusting trust. God is sufficient unto me. He verily is the all-sufficing. In Him let the trusting trust. 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 We'll work on it.
Thank you so much, Tony Ballard and Voices of Baha, or Voices of Baha, Voices of Unity, A Glorious Noise. And that is actually a community choir we practice here every Thursday evening. from 6 until 7, and we just started a few months ago, so we really welcome any community members or friends of the faith who want to join in that choir. Please join us as we refine. Yep. So next, we would like to welcome 2 youth who can often be seen serving. So we'd like to welcome up Alexander Manfra and Ishmael Harris, who'd like to share. You can see their support system there in the back. Ish looks like he is up here representing every youth with the name tags. And they'd like to share some information, a brief excerpt with us about the Bob.
There's a platform that pulls out of
I don't know, I think they're taller than Lucy.
All right, I'll start. The Bob's mission was to prepare the world for a new global faith, the Baha'i faith. Baha'is all around the world believe that the Bab, a title which means the gate, ushered in a new era destined to establish the unity of humanity, in which the cause of division among peoples, races, and nations shall be laid to rest.
Like a spiritual wildfire, the Bab's magnetic courage won over the hearts of many people. He was destined to deliver a message from God, a message of unity, truth, and mercy.
Buddha, Krishna, Zoroaster, Abraham, Moses, Christ, Mohammed, the Bab, and Bahá'u'lláh welcome the new era.
Tonight, we celebrate with all of you and the blessed concourse of the High, the birthday of the Bab.
It's a very heartwarming support system back there. As we know, the youth are so important. I mean, everyone's really important to community, but the youth will carry it forward. So thank you guys for those who came up and also for those who supported. So now we would like to welcome Renee with the musical selection. Thank you so much, Renee.
No disponible. Okay. I'm gonna have a drum, just the guitar. Okay. I'm gonna have a drum, just the guitar. Okay. This is that button, right? This is. Yes. Oh Lord, my God, assist thy loved ones to withstand in the faith to walk in the ways, to be steadfast in thy cause. Give them the grace to withstand the onslaught of self and passion, to follow the light, to follow the light of divine guidance. Give them the grace to follow the light.
of divine guidance. Thou art the powerful, the gracious, the self-subsistent, the bestower, the compassionate, the Almighty, the all-bountiful, the all-bountiful, the all-bountiful. Thank you. Mr. Tony Ballard. Thank you.
So next we have a special tablet on the days of remembrance for the birth of the Bob. After I just sent Beverly over to, at the request of a few audience members, to dim the lights a bit. Sorry, Beverly.
So this is a special tablet in honor of the birth of the Bob. In the name of the one born on this day, him whom God hath made to be the herald of his name, the Almighty, the All-Loving. This is a tablet we have addressed unto that night, wherein the heavens and the earth were illumined by a light that casts its radiance over the entire creation.
Blessed art thou, O night, for through thee was born the day of God, a day which we have ordained to be the lamp of salvation unto the denizens of the city of names, the chalice of victory unto the champions of the arenas of eternity, and the dawning place of joy and exaltation unto all creation.
Immeasurably exalted is God, the maker of the heavens, who hath caused this day to speak forth, that name whereby the veils of idle fancy have been rent asunder. The mist of vain imaginings have been dispelled, and his name, the self-subsisting, hath dawned above the horizon of certitude. Through thee the choice wine of everlasting life hath been unsealed. The doors of knowledge and utterance have been unlocked before the peoples of the earth, and the breezes of the All-Merciful have been wafted over every region. All glory be to that hour wherein the treasure of God, the All-Powerful, the All-Knowing, the All-Wise, hath appeared.
O concourse of earth and heaven, this is that first night which God hath made to be a sign of that second night, whereon was born he whom no praise can befittingly extol, and no attribute describe. Well is it with him who reflecteth upon them both. Verily, he will find their outer reality to correspond to their inner essence, and will become acquainted with the divine mysteries that lie enshrined in this revelation, a revelation through which the foundations of misbelief have been shaken, the idols of superstition have been shattered, and the banner hath been unfurled, which proclaimeth, no God is there but him, the powerful, the exalted, the incomparable, the protector, the mighty, the inaccessible.
On this night, the fragrance of nearness was wafted. The portals of reunion at the end of days were flung open, and all created things were moved to exclaim, "The kingdom is God's, the Lord of all names, who is come with world-embracing sovereignty." On this night, the concourse on high celebrated the praise of their Lord, the exalted, the most glorious, and the realities of divine names extolled him who is the King of the beginning and the end in this revelation, a revelation through whose potency the mountains have hastened unto him who is the all-sufficing, the Most High, and the hearts have turned towards the countenance of their best beloved, and the leaves have been stirred into motion by the breezes of yearning, and the trees have raised their voices in joyful reply to the call of him who is the unconstrained, and the entire earth hath trembled with longing in its desire to attain reunion with the eternal King, and all things have been made new by that concealed word, which hath appeared in this mighty name.
O night of the all-bountiful, in thee do we verily behold the mother book. Is it a book, in truth, or rather a child begotten? Nay, by myself. Such words pertain to the realm of names, whilst God hath sanctified this book above all names. Through it the hidden secret and the treasured mystery have been revealed. Nay, by my love. All that hath been mentioned pertaineth to the realm of attributes, whereas the mother book standeth supreme above this. Through it have appeared the manifestations of there is no God but God over them all. Nay, while such things have been proclaimed to all people, in the estimation of thy Lord, naught but his ear is capable of hearing them. Blessed are those that are well assured.
Whereupon, dumbfounded, the pen of the Most High cried out, O thou who art exalted above all names, I adjure thee by thy might, that encompasseth the heavens and the earth, to exempt me from mentioning thee. For I myself have been called into being by virtue of thy creative power. How then can I depict that which all created things are powerless to describe? And yet I swear by thy glory, were I to proclaim that wherewith thou hast inspired me, the entire creation would pass away from joy and ecstasy. How much more then would it be overwhelmed before the billows of the ocean of thine utterance in this most luminous, most exalted, and transcendent spot? Absolve, O Lord, this faltering pen from magnifying so august a station, and deal mercifully with me, O my possessor and my King. Overlook then my trespasses in thy presence. Thou verily art the Lord of bounty, the all-powerful, the ever-forgiving, the most generous.
Thank you so much. Now we have another musical selection. Renee and Tony Ballard. And myself. Beverly. Yeah.
when I'm feeling lonely and forsaken, when the world hangs heavy on my mind, when my joy for living has been taken, I come to you, Lord, and I always find sanctuary. Sanctuary. Ooh. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Ooh. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. When my problems seem without solution, sanctuary. When it seems they just won't go away, sanctuary. When I'm overcome by life's confusion, sanctuary. You light my path and you prepared a way to sanctuary. Sanctuary. Ooh. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Ooh. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Ooh. Ooh. Sometimes I lose all faith, and all I seem to do is grieve. You remove my difficulties. You give me reason to believe in you. I know with you that I'm protected. Sanctuary. In the stronghold of your defense. Sanctuary. You comfort me when I'm rejected. Sanctuary. Lift my spirits, give me confidence in your sanctuary. 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 Ooh. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Ooh. Sanctuary. Ooh. I know with you that I'm protected. Sanctuary. In the stronghold of your defense. Sanctuary. You comfort me when I'm rejected. Sanctuary. Lift my spirit, give me confidence in your sanctuary. Sanctuary. Ooh. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Ooh. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Ooh. Thank you.
Now we've got a video recitation of the Tablet of Visitation.
The praise which hath dawned from thy most august self, and the glory which hath shone forth from thy most effulgent beauty, rest upon thee, O thou who art the manifestation of grandeur, and the King of eternity, and the Lord of all who are in heaven and on earth. I testify that through thee the sovereignty of God in his dominion, and the majesty of God in his grandeur were revealed, and the day stars of ancient splendor have shed their radiance in the heaven of thine irrevocable decree, and the beauty of the unseen hath shone forth above the horizon of creation. I testify, moreover, that with but a movement of thy pen, thine injunction, "Be thou," hath been enforced, and God's hidden secret hath been divulged, and all created things have been called into being, and all the revelations have been sent down. I bear witness, moreover, that through thy beauty the beauty of the adored one hath been unveiled, and through thy face the face of the desired one hath shone forth, and that through a word from thee thou hast decided between all created things, causing them who are devoted to thee to ascend unto the summit of glory, and the infidels to fall into the lowest abyss. I bear witness that he who hath known thee hath known God, and he who hath attained unto thy presence hath attained unto the presence of God. Great, therefore, is the blessedness of him who hath believed in thee, and in thy signs, and hath humbled himself before thy sovereignty, and hath been honored with meeting thee, and hath attained the good pleasure of thy will, and circled around thee, and stood before thy throne. Woe betide him that hath transgressed against thee, and hath denied thee, and repudiated thy signs, and gainsaid thy sovereignty, and risen up against thee, and waxed proud before thy face, and hath disputed thy testimonies, and fled from thy rule and thy dominion, and been numbered with the infidels, whose names have been inscribed by the fingers of thy behest upon thy holy tablets. Waft then unto me, O my God and my beloved, from the right hand of thy mercy and thy loving kindness, the holy breaths of thy favors, that they may draw me away from myself and from the world unto the courts of thy nearness and thy presence. Potent art thou to do what pleases thee. Thou truly hast been supreme over all things. The remembrance of God and his praise, and the glory of God and his splendor rest upon thee, O thou who art his beauty. I bear witness that the eye of creation hath never gazed upon one wronged like thee. Thou wast immersed all the days of thy life beneath an ocean of tribulations. At one time thou wast in chains and fetters. At another thou wast threatened by the sword of thine enemies. Yet despite all this, thou didst enjoin upon all men to observe what had been prescribed unto thee by him who is the all-knowing, the all-wise. May my spirit be a sacrifice to the wrongs thou didst suffer, and my soul be a ransom for the adversities thou didst sustain. I beseech God, by thee and by them whose faces have been illumined with the splendors of the light of thy countenance, and who for love of thee have observed all whereunto they were bidden,
to remove the veils that have come in between thee and thy creatures, and to supply me with the good of this world and the world to come. Thou art in truth the Almighty, the most exalted, the all-glorious, the ever-forgiving, the most compassionate. Bless thou, O Lord my God, the divine low tree and its leaves, and its boughs, and its branches, and its stems, and its offshoots, as long as thy most excellent titles will endure, and thy most august attributes will last. Protect it then from the mischief of the aggressor and the hosts of tyranny. Thou art in truth the Almighty, the most powerful. Bless thou also, O Lord my God, thy servants and thy handmaidens who have attained unto thee. Thou truly art the all-bountiful, whose grace is infinite. No God is there save thee, the ever-forgiving, the most generous.
Commemoration of the birth of the Bob. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, youth, and thank you everyone who participated and set up. And again, if you have it in you to stay and assist with the breakdown and the cleanup, that is so appreciated. But we do understand those of you who do have school tomorrow or work. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. I'm so sorry. Tomorrow, so this is the twin holy days, and tomorrow also here at 6 o'clock we have a celebration for the birth of Bahá'u'lláh. Dinner at 6, and also another program at 7 with even more musical selections. So please feel free to join us. Thank you, Beverly.